So not only are the last cargo ships arriving to the United States this week that will be carrying cargo that will not be tariffed, because after this, every cargo ship that arrives in the United States will be hit with 145% tariff. Truck drivers across the United States are quitting en masse. Yes, the truck drivers that are legal citizenships who also have legal driver's licenses are quitting en masse and selling their trucks. So not only are we going to be facing a crisis of items coming into the United States, we're also going to be facing a crisis of items being able to be delivered to businesses.
Across the U.S., truckers are walking away from the industry. Why? It's not just long hours or rising fuel costs, it's a lack of shipments. Warehouses are empty, packages are fewer, and the root cause? Tariffs. Tariffs on imports mean fewer goods are coming into the country. Fewer goods means fewer things to ship. Fewer shipments mean truckers, many of them independent contractors, aren't getting paid. The entire logistics chain slows down, and those who rely on volume to make a living are being forced out. Now, here's where it gets even more ironic. The vast majority of these same truckers proudly voted MAGA. Many backed Trump knowing he was pushing for aggressive tariffs. He said it loud and clear. Tariffs on China. Tariffs on Europe. Tariffs on Mexico. It was never secret. So now the question is, hope you're enjoying what you voted for, because this is exactly what was promised. Trump didn't hide it, but too many voted without thinking how deeply tariffs would ripple through their own livelihoods. It's not just about punishing foreign countries, it's about crashing the very system you depend on. Maybe it's time to ask, was it worth it?
Trucking has completely went flat bottom, man. I can honestly tell you these past 3 weeks, this is including the third week that I'm in right now, you get a few runs here and there. I'm in Chicago, right? And it's getting bad. I don't know, what do you tell your drivers, right? You just give them the whole concept of be patient. Obviously, watching the news, I'm not only a truck driver, I own trucks. I got drivers, man, I don't know what else to say or do. Obviously, Trump is doing what he needs to do, right? On paper, it looks good. It looks right. But we're going to have to try to weather the tide, you know what I'm saying? But, man, it's getting bad, right? And I know a lot of people in other businesses that are complaining too, right? Everybody's watching the news, waiting for this whole situation to die down with this whole tariff thing back and forth. And I don't see no end in sight. I know some of my guys that are owner-operators, a lot of them gave up not having a plan in place after they quit. And they just saying, hey, I'm going to wing it. I don't know. I'll figure something out. But, man, me personally, my advice to anybody, it doesn't matter if you're a truck driver now. Whatever you're doing for a living and you don't want to do that no more, find you another source of income before you quit. Never quit until you have another option, right? You're going to quit and just sit there and wait. What are you going to do? My advice, man, do not quit something until you have something in line, ready to go.
Trucking in the United States is getting ready to suffer. And truckers who depend on those shipments for their jobs are going to be unemployed, especially if you're operating on the west coast of America, because all those shipments that go to China that aren't going to happen because of the tariffs, those shippings go to California ports. Well, in May of 2020, during COVID, there was 50 blank sailings in California going to China. That means canceled sailings where full ships would go to China. Now, 50 in 2020 in COVID. This past month and the beginning of April, there's been 80 already. And someone said it. This is going to make COVID look like good times.
Tariffs don't just punish China or protect American jobs. That's the slogan. The reality? Tariffs are taxes. And guess who pays them? You. American companies pay more to import goods, and they pass that cost on. Or worse, stop importing altogether. No imports equals no products equals no packaging equals no loads for truckers. It's a chain reaction. A tariff on a shipping container from Asia doesn't just hit the factory in Shanghai. It hits the logistics hub in Ohio, the packaging center in Texas, and the truck driver in Missouri, who suddenly has nothing to haul. And the industry is bleeding. Thousands of small trucking businesses have shut down. Diesel prices are up. Load prices are down. Some truckers are barely breaking even. Others are drowning in debt. And still, many keep waving the MAGA flag, pretending this collapse is someone else's fault. But let's be honest. You were warned. Trump made it clear he was going full force with tariffs. You heard it. You cheered it. You voted for it. So again, how's that working out for you now? This is what happens when political choices are made on vibes and slogans instead of facts and foresight. The working class voted for policies that are actively dismantling their livelihoods. It's not owning the libs if you end up unemployed.
90% of the truck drivers voted for Trump. Now they go to the ports and the piers and look for a load to carry, and they find out that half the fucking ships are empty and the other half are being diverted by China to other places. The only thing you'll be hauling is Trump Day House back to Mar-a-Lago.
Let me tell you how bad it is right now. The economy is so bad right now due to, Trump's tariffs. Obviously, he's trying to prove a point to these other countries. It is what it is. But let's get back to the subject, right? I do intermodal trucking, right? Usually, they'll come on the train, they'll put them on chassis, they'll park them, and then we grab them. But the work is not coming in as it usually does. What's happening is it comes on the train, we're going to grab them right away due to the flow not coming in the way it usually does. Now, usually we'll get the effect as drivers, semi-trucks will feel the effect before the consumer feels the effect. And that's what's happening right now. How long is this tariff situation going to go back and forth between Trump and these other countries? Obviously, he's trying to prove a point. They're trying to prove a point. But at the end of the day, regardless of how high these tariffs get to, obviously the manufacturer is going to pay for it. But at the end of the day, they are going to charge it back to us as consumers when we buy products and stuff like that. Hopefully this situation ends rather sooner than later, because unfortunately if it stays the way it is while they keep on upping the ante on each other, it's going to get bad. Well, I don't know if you don't know, I'm a truck driver, right? Owner-operator. And unfortunately for a while now, how can I say it? A trucking recession. Truck drivers are falling like dominoes, giving up on the business. Today was an unusual day. A few of my friends, they post their trucks on Marketplace. They just want to get rid of it. They just want to move on. They're not too many people are looking at, in general, nobody wants to buy. So, like I said, today was a little unusual. A few of the guys called me up and said, why don't you take the trucks and give us a few dollars and pay us the rest in payments? And I was telling them, like, what you're going through, I'm going through the same way. So if I was to take the trucks, I'm going to park them, and they're going to be like table ornaments. They're going to gather rust. You can't afford to hire no drivers because it's not worth it. That's number one. There is no work. When is this going to end? I have no idea. This trucking recession, I guess we're going to call it. I don't know. It's just pathetic. When is it going to end? I don't know. And I'm going to be honest with you. I done got almost all of them. I only got a few left. And I'm on one and another guy's on one. We're not even doing any good. Today, for example, came out, did a box, waiting on something else to come in, nothing else come in. What about tomorrow? It's not looking good either tomorrow. So I don't blame anybody that leaves the business right now because it's not worth it. You would think that the only business that wouldn't go down is trucking, because if you all know, everything in the stores and wherever you go, it comes from a delivery guy, driver that delivers shit. But unfortunately, that's not the case no more. God help us all, man.
Said if you really want to know what's going on, listen to the truckers. So I searched and I found hundreds and hundreds of those videos. 75% of truckers voted for Donald Trump. I don't want to say you're entering your fuck around and find out phase, but it's like that's exactly what's happening. You are getting exactly what you voted for. You guys are getting laid off. You're not having jobs to fulfill because the shipment yard is empty. Companies are canceling their shipments because of Donald Trump's tariffs. Blanket tariffs. Something he said his whole entire election cycle that he was going to do. Something that we screamed from the mountaintops was a horrendous idea. And yet here we are. You guys are losing your jobs and struggling to feed your families. And our prices at the stores, all of our prices at the stores, are going to go up. Donald Trump's America, man.
What are the consequences of the fact that there's no ships coming in to the biggest port on the West Coast? The port in LA is reporting that there are no ships with shipping containers. The port is basically empty. And the same thing has happened in Seattle. And this happened pretty quickly, right? The tariffs came in and people are not ordering anything, and people who have ordered things have canceled their orders. And the implications for this are mainly for the American economy right now. China has lots of flexibility to be able to handle this. They can give grants to companies and things like that because they are running their economy very differently, and they've also don't have the same sort of debt load that the Americans are facing. But the implications for this are just catastrophic for the U.S. I mean, the first one that we can see right away is for truckers. There are reports that the truckers, the level of demand right now is the same as for Thanksgiving, U.S. Thanksgiving and Christmas Day, which is the lowest of the year, and that is every day. So you're going to see truckers laid off, you're going to see port workers laid off, and the cascading effect obviously through that local economy will happen fairly quickly because those people are not going to have the money to be able to spend, and it's going to affect the real estate in those places as well.
Here's the bottom line. Most truckers aren't just drivers. They're mothers, fathers, husbands, wives. Citizens trying to provide, pay bills, put food on the table. People who built their lives around hard, honest work. But now, that livelihood is being chipped away, not by foreign competition, but by the very policies they voted for. Tariffs don't just hurt the other guy. They cut deep here at home. They shrink supply chains, kill shipments, and destroy industries like trucking that rely on movement, not political showmanship. And now many truckers are being forced off the road. Not because they failed, but because the system they trusted turned against them. We're not here to mock. We're here to ask. Did anyone really think this through? Was the trade war worth your paycheck? Was the political win worth your financial loss? It's a hard pill to swallow, but it's also a necessary wake-up call. If this message hits home, if you or someone you know is feeling the impact, share this video. Comment your experience. Subscribe to Orbit Point for more breakdowns on how politics affects real people like you. And don't forget to hit that like button if you believe it's time for voters to think beyond slogans and start protecting their futures. Until next time, stay informed, stay grounded, and stay